And guys, in this next news story, video footage shows the dramatic moments a drug dealer crashes his car during a 90-mile-per-hour chase before being caught hidden in a nearby garden. Shabaz Ali, who went by the nickname GreenEyes, led officers on a high-speed pursuit down narrow roads after being spotted in his suspicious-looking white VW Golf GTI driving in Rochdale in Greater Manchester. He was seen reaching speeds of 90 miles per hour through 30 mile per hour speed limit zones through housing estates during the incident on November the 2nd last year before he collided with the curb on Belfield Lane. The 32-year-old, who was disqualified from driving at the time, ditched his vehicle after the crash and began jumping into nearby gardens in a bid to evade officers who were chasing him on foot. However, the Rochdale man was spotted hiding next to a set of patio doors by a police helicopter, which was brought in to help the search with bodycam footage showing the arresting officer telling the criminal, "Unlucky lad," as he put him in handcuffs. After searching the car, officers from Greater Manchester Police said a substantial amount of crack cocaine and heroin worth £10,000 was discovered. A total of 814 individual wraps were recovered, along with an additional package containing enough heroin for a further 130 individual wraps. On Wednesday, Ali from Rochdale was jailed for 7 years after he pleaded guilty to possession with intent to supply Class A drugs, dangerous driving and driving whilst disqualified. Detective Sergeant Gabe Gibson from Rochdale's Challenger Organised Crime Team said Ali's reckless actions and outrageous display of driving endangered innocent members of the public. The recovery of £10,000 worth of Class A drugs showed the true nature of his greedy mindset, making vast sums of money via the abhorrent trade in selling Class A drugs on the streets of Rochdale. Collaboration with Greater Manchester Police's Force County Lines and Tactical Vehicle Intercept Unit allowed for overwhelming evidence to be presented, ultimately leading Ali to pleading guilty. Whilst Ali contemplates his actions over the next several years from the confines of his cell, we remain committed to relentlessly pursue those involved in drug supply and organised crime across Rochdale.
Officer that just was round the back, he's just in the back garden. We've just lost eyeball with him. He was over that fence. He stood by the gate, by the patio windows. If you go around, you'll see him.
Impact, license to Fisher,
Turn around. Thank you, Impasse. Oh, look at that.
And guys, in this next news story, a man who harassed his ex-partner on social media before setting fire to a flat has been jailed for at least 22 years after officers arrested him within hours of the offence taking place. Detectives with specialist safeguarding training supported the victim throughout the investigation, which culminated in Harry Owusu-Manu being found guilty on the 23rd of February of 2 counts of attempted murder following a 5-week trial at the Old Bailey. He was also found guilty of aggravated arson with intent to endanger life, religiously aggravated stalking and having a lock knife in a public place. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 22 years at the Old Bailey today. Detective Constable Megan Gittins investigating the case said, "It is no exaggeration to say Harry Owusu-Manu made his ex-partner's life a misery with his behaviour. The victim's home and her new baby items, including clothes, cot and toys, were all destroyed. Owusu-Manu refused to accept that she did not want to be in a relationship with him anymore and set about causing her physical and mental harm. He began posting derogatory stories on Instagram, but his behaviour soon escalated when he attempted to murder not just his ex-partner, but a young daughter and unborn child. He also showed extreme disregard for the lives of other residents who could have been seriously injured by his dangerously misguided drive for revenge. He said, "I want to send a clear message to anyone who is concerned about the behaviour of the current or former partner. The Met Police is here." The victim said, "It was devastating that because of this man's hatefulness, I have lost so much that was dear to me. I have been deeply traumatized and can never forget the horror of that night. I'm just so grateful to the London Fire Brigade for rescuing us and that my children are alive. I truly thought that we were going to die. This has changed my life, losing my lovely home, and worse, my sense of security and safety is forever changed. I don't know when I will ever truly feel safe again. But I know that I am stronger than he thought and will be happy again, and we will thrive. I hope this hateful, cruel man spends decades in prison for endangering our lives and the lives of everyone who lived in that building. I'd also like to thank the Met for their enduring support, the CPS for their dedication to this case, and everyone who helped." Detectives began their investigation after a fire was reported at a flat in Battersea in the early hours of Tuesday, the 25th of April 2023. The victim had been in the flat with the daughter at the time, and they were subsequently treated for smoke inhalation. Investigators from London Fire Brigade established that the fire had been started deliberately after a doormat had been set alight and forced under the victim's door. While Owusu Manu had attempted to cover his tracks by spray painting one of the CCTV cameras black, detectives soon found footage of his distinctive orange van arriving minutes before the fire. Officers quickly identified the van and were able to painstakingly trace his movements from his home address to the victim's address. Inquiries revealed that this was not the first time that Owusu Manu made that journey. He had carried out another journey in the days leading up to the fire. Dashcam footage recovered from the van itself caught the moment Owusu Manu made his way to the flat to start the blaze, and a further recording captured by the dashcam also led detectives to where Owusu Manu had attempted to get rid of the clothes he wore when starting a fire. Owusu Manu was arrested later on the 25th of April 2023 and refused to answer any questions put to him by detectives. He was charged and convicted as stated in this report today. And guys, in this next news story, a Birmingham man has pleaded guilty to firearms offences after eagle-eyed officers spotted insulation in his hair, alerting them to his hiding place. Information suggested that Lamar Turner was in possession of weapons, so a firearms warrant was executed at his address in Handsworth on the 27th of November last year. It was several minutes before the door was opened and officers found a nervous Turner with bits of polystyrene and insulation in his hair. Their attention was immediately drawn to the loft, a hatch door of which was lined with polystyrene. A search revealed 2 loaded and viable firearms and a black pouch with one in a white sock. Elsewhere in the property, officers found multiple bags of cannabis with a street value of over £2,000, several thousands of pounds in cash, multiple SIM cards, 2 machetes and an axe. A trial was due to start yesterday at Birmingham Crown Court, but he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of possession of a prohibited firearm and possession of ammunition without a licence. He's going to be sentenced at a later date. So guys, there's a number of stories coming out from the streets of the UK. It's your boy GT. Keep it locked, keep it real.